Today I fucked up and almost ended up on the first 48.
On the that's like the missing persons.
It is.
Isn't it? Oh man,
It is.
that's more
I
than
feel like there was a rap song that I used to like called The First 48 or something like that also. And I had no idea it was in reference to a TV show.
You're just jamming out to it.
I was just jamming out
idea.
to it for like 2 years, and then somebody was like, "Oh, it's like the TV show." I said, "What?"
Oh, man. All right. Story goes as this. So, this actually happened in May. I had recently left a long-term relationship and decided it was time to get back out there. So I, 31 female, downloaded Hinge and matched with a guy, 33 male, that was very good looking, and we hit it off. After a few weeks, I agreed to go on a date with him. We agreed to meet up for a casual coffee date and a walk in the park. So, it is time for the date, and I show up on time, but he is 15 minutes late. And I let it go. Red flag already.
guy, where
Off
are
the
you?
bat. Off the bat. Of course, it's awkward meeting someone, and I had been out of the game for 7 years, so I wasn't really sure what I was expecting. Anyways, he gets out of the car, comes up to me, and opens his arm for a hug, and I reciprocate. He then immediately goes in for a kiss.
I was already like hug off the bat, a little weird, but
Oh, I'm not gonna lie, I am a hugger. I always say like, "Hey, can I get?" He's like, "Is it okay if I give you a hug?" Because that's how I say hi to people.
it.
I'm a hug at girl. Not gonna lie, even as a stranger, I'm like, "Hey, I'm a hugger." So like, if it's okay with you, I am gonna give you a hug.
I feel like I hug people and say I love you way too easily.
I'm the same way. Oh my god,
I uncomfortably and awkwardly do it sometimes to friends I know for years.
I love you, bitch.
I remember the first time Josh said I love you to us. We
That-
forced
that
it out
was-
of him. It wasn't sincere. I don't know if it was sincere.
They said,
But he
"We
says
will-
it now. He says it now.
We'll
We
vote you off
forced
the
it out of him.
podcast."
We can't. The podcast will literally end tomorrow if we fucking vote you off.
It was the price you guys were willing to pay.
Never gonna pay that price. Fuck that. We'll cave into any of your demands, Josh.
Whoa.
No,
have
I'm
way
just
more
kidding.
power.
We don't tell him
Oh,
that.
yeah, you're right. Don't fucking like, give the white man a
We
little
can
more
find any
ammunition.
other white man out there, Josh. Don't get too high on yourself.
Yeah, we can find another fucking bearded, fucking hoodie wearing,
Handsome ass guy
Handsome
for
motherfucker.
sure.
looking
They're
like Chris
everywhere.
Evans, piece of shit.
At your wedding, there was 50. We could get any one of them.
Hell, we thought one of your friends looked like fucking you.
That's true. Brad will replace me.
Shout out Brad.
No one will know.
No one. He then immediately goes in for a kiss with an excessive amount of tongue.
Oh,
To go in at all is wild.
All in.
yeah. To try for a kiss without even, I mean, I don't know. I've never been in a first. Actually, that's a lie. Back in the 8th grade, I think I went on somebody I met in MySpace. We met.
And
at
how
the
much
mall.
tongue did you use?
None at all.
It caught me off guard, but he was really good looking, so I let it go. I figured I was just lame and this is what the cool kids do these days. So we get inside this little mom and pop shop, place our order, and it is time to pay. But he just walked away with the drinks. I said out loud, "I guess I'll pay for them." And he responded with, "Oh, if you don't mind." I would like to note, I have absolutely no problem paying it. Just again, threw me off because it was never discussed. Just assume. Again, I let it go.
I
Yeah.
think I would leave, but also I don't know dating culture anymore. So
I don't know. I just always assume I'm at least paying for myself. You know what I mean?
Or
First
split,
date.
yeah. At least the first date, yeah.
Yeah.
We sit down and start having a pretty decent conversation, but he is making very intense eye contact and making audible grunts, which made me a little uncomfortable, but not enough to throw any major flags.
Holy
audible
how,
grunts.
How
in a
is that not a
conversation?
major
Like,
flag?
"Oh, this fucking coffee. It's just good."
I can understand eye contact. Maybe that's I don't know.
Some people could be intense with that.
Yeah, some people
Yeah.
are just naturally intense with eye contact. The grunts mid conversation is wild. I wish he included an example of it.
Yeah. Like I get if you're standing up. I understand that.
So it is wrapping up and it is time to go to the park. Like a dumbass, I agreed to get into the car with a stranger and allow him to drive us there instead of following behind. So we are driving along and he is going the wrong direction to the park.
No.
And I asked where we were going and he tells me he wanted to take me to a mountain lookout. But
No.
the specific lookout he mentioned is known as a place nothing good happens. and I veto that. He then tells me he wants me to meet his mother. I say no to that as well. And this man pulls up to his mom's house, and I told him I'm not comfortable with any of this. And he tries to reassure me by mentioning that it's really his house. His mom just lives with him.
I don't care.
I don't want to meet your mom.
What the fuck?
At this point, the red flags finally start to make an appearance.
Holy shit.
Barely.
Just now?
They've
Barely.
been appearing since the first sentence you mentioned. He was 15 minutes late.
I told him that we had agreed to walk in the park, and he reluctantly agreed and headed to the park. He was also swerving all over the road, and I swear he fell asleep at least once, if not twice. I wanted to just dip out, but I didn't have my car, so I had to ride it out. I convinced him to let me swing by to get my car so it wouldn't be a hassle later. I should have bailed right then, but no. Me being a dumbass, I still follow him to the park.
How handsome was this guy?
It's that
He
pretty
must-
privilege, bro. It's that.
He must have been very handsome.
Holy.
My
Ain't
God.
No way.
So we start walking, and this man pulls his shirt off and leaves it off for the remainder of the date. Keep in
What the
mind,
fuck is this? Is the weirdest guy, bro.
I don't understand how she is still there.
keep in mind it's a public park with a bunch of kids and old people. He wants us to sit on the bench to talk. We sit down. Y'all, this man starts to pray loud as fuck about how grateful he was that I was put into his life and how much he loves me and he is in love with me and that I'm his girlfriend. People are walking past us just making eye contact with me as I mouth the words, I'm so sorry. It was so awkward.
I'd be whispering, help me.
Help me for real. Get me out of this shit.
Yeah.
I should probably mention that this guy is like 6'4" at like 250 plus pounds.
There you go,
Very
Sean.
athletic, obviously works out, big enough that I knew I couldn't take him if I ran. And at this point, I was just trying to hurry along so I could go home. We started walking again, and he tries to lead me to the edges of the park. The crowd is no longer grannies and little kids, and I'm stepping over needles and around homeless people. There are a bunch of abandoned buildings nearby, and he said, I've never been in these buildings at night. Wanna check them out with me? I said, no, I think my mom's calling and I need to go home. And thankfully, he didn't push it too far. So he walks me back to my car, and as I try to slide in, I'm swinging my feet under the dash. He grabs my left foot and proceeds to put his mouth on my toes. Y'all, the gasp, I gasp. He notices, let's go, and says, hang on. He is parallel parked in front of me, so I can't just leave. He digs in his truck for a while and comes back with a jacket. He throws it through my driver window all the way to the back of my SUV, looks me dead in the eyes, serious as fuck, and says, just so you know, I'm very possessive of my belongings, and you are my girlfriend now. And I just looked back and said, okay, cool. I took the fuck off, and I looked like Lightning McQueen pulling out. Something didn't feel right, so I pull over a few blocks over.
Wait, no doubt.
Get your ass home already. What the
Jesus
fuck?
Christ.
Something didn't feel right, so I pull over a few blocks over and grab the jacket. I look in the pocket, and there's an Apple AirTag inside. I threw it in the dumpster in the parking lot and took the longest way home I could.
What the fuck is this guy, dude?
Ooh, all right. Date's over. I'm alive. I call my BFF and tell her what the fuck just happened. She was like, bitch, did you forget how to Google? I get home, put my FBI cap on, and start looking. Tell me why 3 mugshots pop up. Drugs, assault, and domestic violence. And I also find him in one of those, are we dating the same guy groups? Y'all, his ex-wife and other past partners had all the receipts. This man is crazy as fuck. He's also in school to be an anesthesiologist. The last person I would want around while I'm unconscious. I forgot to mention the funniest part. While we headed to the park, he pulls out a gift card for Bonefish Grill and says, there's a little over $14 left. Do you want to go share an appetizer?
I just
The end.
the bar is on the ground. What the fuck?
He just must have been so hot. I mean,
6'4",
there's
250, probably good
truly
looking. You
no.
damn,
Okay. 15 minutes late. Goes in for not only a kiss,
Full
a
tongue.
fucking full tongue French kiss, first time meeting. You've barely had a conversation in person. That happens. Go to the restaurant. he doesn't pay or even act like he wants to pay or offer or
Like, he didn't
anything.
even- he
Grabbed
never-
the cups and ran.
He never thought about paying.
He's like, you got this shit, right?
Yeah.
and then
Grunting.
basically kidnapped you after that dinner.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You had to pretty much force him to go back to the park. And then when y'all went to the park, never mind the shirtless and the prayer, he tried to take you to an abandoned building, also which you didn't agree upon. So many. Again, I don't want to sound like I'm like victim blaming. I'm just saying like this guy must have been so hot. I mean, just how else?
I gotta say the TLDR version, Sean, is impressive. I like it.
Thank you,
Yeah,
thank you.
this is
Because
pretty
I
good.
mean, like, if you look like Chris Hemsworth, I also might be like, just like, all right, this is all making sense until it doesn't, and then I'm like, oh, this is bad. I think.
Yeah.
I think the kidnapping right off the bat, it's wild to be kidnapped. Get in your car and then be like, all right, I'll meet you at the park. Oh my god!
I'm actually going home now.
Yeah. I'm so glad that it finally hit you at the end there and you decided to check. Also, I hope you can bring that to evidence to the cops. Be like, this doesn't belong to me. It was given to me by my date online.
Oh, she
And
threw
there's
it
like
out.
an AirTag. So I feel like he.
Yeah.
Trying to
I
plan
don't
to
know.
find out where you live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
Fucked
I
up.
Googled him afterwards. He has a rap sheet. You might want to look into that because other women are probably in danger. So yeah, hopefully you did. I mean, I don't know.
I
That's
can't
a scary
imagine
ass story.
someone with a rap sheet can become an anesthesiologist. You know what I mean? Like I'd imagine there's like safeguards in place for people like that not to get in a job like that.
You'd be surprised.
I'm always conflicted about that kind of thing because I'm like, yes, if he went to jail, the restorative, like he was not healed or, yeah, he's the same guy essentially, unfortunately. So I'm like, because like I do feel some way about like people getting out of prison. I would like them to get like jobs and stuff
For
if they're
sure.
reformed. But it's just like, okay, clearly this guy is not reformed. How is he in school for this position? I
Yeah.
don't know.
Like,
Seems
listen,
strange.
I mean, you can go to school for anything. It doesn't mean you'll get the job. But like, listen, yeah, if you go to jail, you should be able to come out and find a job. That's not what I'm arguing. I'm arguing if you go to jail for, let's say, drug trafficking, you shouldn't immediately come out and
Maybe
become a
not be in the
pharmacist.
medical field.
Yeah.
Some fields that might
Yeah.
require you having access to drugs.
Yeah. It's like, it's going to take me a few more years to trust you in that position. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair.
Get therapy.